I'm excited to be here in the studio today. We are going to do a sketchbook tour. I finished this sketchbook a while ago. I don't know what's in it. I think I used it for a long time. So we're going to go through that. And we're going to work on one of the bear paintings. We're going to try to pop the front back. Yeah, let's see what we get up to today. And maybe I'll share some things that I've been really loving, just loving. But welcome. So happy you're here. And let's do sketchbook tour first. That's kind of fun, right? I'll pop you up overhead and we can take a look at it. I have been loving this gouache palette from Caran d'Ache. It is a lot like watercolor. You can see I've kind of used it like watercolor here. But they're really rich colors, so I am really liking it. So I'm plugging away at this sketchbook, but we're gonna close this one up. And when it's done, I will show you that. But let's take a look. So the caveat here is I use my sketchbook as an actual sketchbook. Like I work stuff out, I draw messy. These are not perfect spreads. I'm not doing that. And so I want to make sure that you're not thinking you're going to get these beautiful finished pieces, because that's never what I'm doing here. But let's see what a working sketchbook looks like. First page, this is my address, so I have that covered up. I was testing, obviously, something, color pencils, it looks like, some kind of color pencil. And this looks like a quick sketch of tea that I did. That's what that looks like, I think. Yeah, tea bag, tea. I don't see a date yet, so I'll be curious. Oh my gosh. 2022. Oh, all the way. Was this the latest? Hold the phone. Okay. This is not the sketchbook. This is an older sketchbook. So I'm going to hold on to this. If you want to see this sketchbook, let me know in the comments and I'm happy to show you. It's a complete sketchbook, but this is not the one I was going to show you. But this is older work from 2022, which is totally fine. But let's take a look at the newer sketchbook. All right. It doesn't look like I put anything on the front. That's unusual. Normally I do. Nothing on this front page either, so that's interesting. I obviously was doing some color wheel work. Yeah, it's kind of fun. That's very pretty. It's very pretty. Oh, I have a real love of Outlander, and I have a watercolor kit from my local art store in my community where they custom make watercolor, and a friend of mine made a kit that is all the Outlander inspired colors. So that's where this comes from. I'll show you that kit at some point, but that's kind of fun, isn't it? Frogs. I love frogs. Oh, I actually really love rainbow pencils. These are this. And I think I just bought them on Amazon in like a 12 pack or something. And I just love them. I use them all the time. You can tell. Snails. So this is from October 2023. This spans 2 years. I had like a break in my sketchbook practice, so that's kind of how that works sometimes. Or I was working in multiple sketchbooks. That also happens. This was inspired by a Sandy Hester painting, and then I did this sketch of her painting. And it's acrylic and maybe some watercolor. I don't know, there's a lot going on. I actually really like this. I really like this, so it might be something for me to look at again. And an owl. This is acrylic and watercolor, I think, or maybe gouache and acrylic. Oh, turtles. So for those that don't know, my very first graphic design job was working on the packaging for Ninja Turtles. And so I really love turtles. I love toys. I really love kid graphics, I guess maybe we'd call those, kid illustrations, books for kids. Anyway, and so you'll see that always sort of inside some of my work because I just really love it. Self-portrait. Oh, we find some bears. You know, they're always going to pop up. It's fun. Another self-portrait. Just from watercolor, I think. Some chickadees. Another self-portrait. I'm always trying to do portraits, and it's not something that comes natural to me, so you'll just see I keep trying and keep trying. Oh, Peaches. This is all about my mom. Her nickname was Peachy growing up, and so Peaches. So here I'm just working on different kinds of mark making. So hatching, repeated shapes, ink loading, brush pen hatch, cross hatch, stippling, wet on wet, brush pen stippling, scribbles, ink loading, more brush pen shapes, and then some different brush pens that I have. Another self-portrait. Oh, it's terrible. This is so bad. This is like, oh, it's just terrible. But you know, that's what sketchbooks for. Sometimes it's just terrible. Oh, rats. I do kind of love that. It's kind of great. That's pretty. I'm always trying to work out how to do a landscape, what you leave in, what you keep out, how you do that. So more mark making. Thinking through shapes. I was just thinking through different shapes. So these are like little thumbnails, thinking through different shapes. Quick goose. Some owls. I really like that owl, this one. Oh, interesting. I didn't quite get that right. That's kind of fun. But just trying to work on the shape. Most of this stuff is done very quickly. I'm trying to work very fast. Abstract. Always drawing my dog. Always drawing my dog. Little tiny drawings. See that color pencil come in again, that multicolor pencil. Oh, all the different kinds of people. Really love these people back here, and this one too. Oh, it's down by our creek, I think. Very abstract landscape. Oh, Christmas. Christmas. And my dog, Franklin. You might hear in the back, I just gave him a new bone, and he's very into it, so. Oh, there he is again. I do a lot of drawings of Franklin. This was an urban sketch inside of a cafe with I was in a very strange corner and had a real trouble trying to get the dimensions right. Oh, and then I was sketching some of the people in the cafe. And then this all just had a ground already on it, something I had just painted and then I drew over it. And again, the cafe, urban sketching, just going in and drawing my cup and whatever was on the table. And a quick one of my dog. Oh, then we have bears again. Always with the bears. Some quick houses. Oh, fun. Robots. Oh, so we're back. Now we're into January. It's January 15th. It's the 2024 was the year of the tiger, I think. So hence the tiger. More bears, working on bear shapes, trying to get the lines right. You know, they have this kind of hump in the back, trying to like figure that out while they're walking. Fish. This is all done in graphite. You can see my hands are now a mess. I have to wash them, but that's okay. Horses. I was not a horse girl. Put in the comments, were you a horse girl or were you not a horse girl? So drawing horses is not easy for me. Parrot. Frog. I really love that frog. I was on a class with Natalie Goldberg, who's a Zen writer, and I did a quick sketch of what was next to her and then her while I was on the Zoom class. Abstract. I think I was urban sketching here and trying to get a proportion right and was really struggling. Yeah, I abandoned it a couple times. And then I do this one of a look down. This is a hotel. This is a hotel that has a tree growing out the side and this amazing neon sign. So that was done on site. Oh, a lot of fun words. Yeah. It's really, yeah, really fun. Oh, so testing some pens, Posca pens, Sharpie paint pens. Oh, koi watercolors that are 25 years old. These are 25 years old and they still look amazing. And then some Winsor Newton gouache that I have that's 25 years old as well. That's because years ago I would get supplies and I wouldn't use them because I didn't think I could create good enough art, and we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to use our stuff. Also, a note to myself about that. Very colorful. This is like two separate things. An abstract. Hound dogs. So I started my teapot paintings, remember, and I was working out the shape of the teapot and kind of maybe what those backgrounds would be. This is where that all started, if you remember my teapot paintings. An abstract. Rabbits. Hippo. I was getting ready to go to the Kansas City Zoo, and so I was practicing the hippo because that was one of the exhibits that I really wanted to see. So that's why you see that. A little coffee sketch outside. An abandoned sketch. Oh, I was in Lake DeGray, which is sort of the middle of Arkansas, and that was a view out the window. This is the lake. These are these Stabilo, I think there were these really chunky colored pencils, and I just really like them. I really love the red particularly. This is in my downtown, so this was done on site. There's a fountain and the trees and the building behind, but I really like this sketch. I would consider maybe painting a painting from this. Oh, and then I quickly did some people. They were sitting across the way on a bench, and I was slyly trying to sketch them really quickly. I think this is like a 5-minute sketch. Strawberries and blueberries. Oh, that's right. I got 100 on July 31st. I got 100 subscribers on YouTube, and now I'm at like 1,200 or something. So this was my celebration of that. So it didn't take very long to get where I am today, but that was exciting. Zinnias in my garden. I probably was sitting in the garden. Again, trying to abstract trees, it's really challenging. Like, what do I want to show? Same, this is outside. I was sitting outside, I'm sure, and fallen log, and we have some bushes. Again, this is our outside. A quick abstract. Another quick abstract. Yeah, that's it. That's it. But that's kind of fun, huh? Like, I love it when it's like all chunky like that. And it's a real mix. It's a real mix of things. But I love it. I love it. Yeah, and if you want to see an older sketchbook, I'm curious what's in it too, actually. Just, you know, let me know. Let me know. It looks like I have 2 others that are completed. I have more, obviously, but these are the most recent. Do you have a sketchbook habit? Do you keep a sketchbook? Is it a working sketchbook? Or you know, what are you doing in yours? I will say, so I currently am working in, I have this sketchbook that I'm working in, and this is like my everyday sketchbook. Like, let's see, where is it? This one. This one. There's so many. This is my everyday sketchbook that I'm working in, like just at my desk. This is the sketchbook, or I will take this urban sketching and just wherever. So I have this sketchbook. Then I have this one that I'm working on, which is my color theory notebook that I'm using, working through things with Ann Livingston's YouTube channel. She has these exercises and things, and then I just do things on my own as well. But that's what this sketchbook is specifically. And then I also have other sketchbooks. Let me pull them so you can see what else. So I have multiple sketchbooks going, and I'm about to get another one, and maybe I'll explain why. I have this one that is just drawings, just ink and cartoons and just things. That's all this is, though, is black and white ink drawings. No color is in this one. Then there are more. I have this one, which is bigger. It's a Ranger. I really love this sketchbook. And in this one is all kinds of things. And I haven't worked in this for a long time, and I may need to get back to it. But this was kind of all sorts of things too. More bears, obviously. But yeah, so there's this one just for bigger size, because sometimes I just want to work in a bigger size. And then, if that's not enough, I also have this one, which is one I haven't worked in a long time now, I see, but I want to come back to it. This was a sketchbook. Let's see how far I've gotten. Oh wait, maybe. Ooh, okay. I still have some room. It again is to work in a larger size, larger format. And this is just crummy paper in this. I don't really care. I really go at it in my sketchbooks. But so larger format. So these two are both for larger format things. But there you go. It's my sketchbook habit. Let me show you 2 things I'm really loving since I'm sitting here at the desk. Also, there's a lot of sketchbooks happening here, so let me try to deal with that too. It's a little overwhelming, but I am loving this color meditation deck from Lisa Solomon. I am working on that most mornings in this sketchbook, and I can just quickly show you some of them. Like, here's the arches, the grid meditation, coil, hashtag, super fun. It's just super fun. What I like about this is in the morning, after I've meditated and I've written in my journal, I give myself 3 minutes to paint something. And this just, I don't have to think about it. I can just pull a card and just do whatever it says, which is really nice. I don't have the not thinking about it and just doing is a really nice practice. And so I've really, really been enjoying this, and I can't wait to work my way all the way through it. And yeah, I recommend it. I recommend it it's very peaceful. It's very calming. It's beautiful. All your work will be beautiful. And that's been really nice. Another thing I've been really loving is this book that I got from the library from Carla Sondheim, which is a drawing book with 52 different ideas in it. And I did this, I've been working on that in here. Let's see if I can find some of the things. Right, so it was to draw cats as quickly as possible in as many different ways. So cats, which was really fun. This was a dog that was an exercise in making animals like Picasso, super fun. This was a blind contour drawing. This is an African bush elephant. Let me see what else I have in here. Oh, this is to create a monster starting with the eyeball. So I drew the eyeball and then I drew that. This was to do portraits in a certain way, and so that was really fun. These were, you drew a scribble and then you made something out of the scribble, which was really good for it's just good for my brain. I'll show you. Same with this. This was paint blots, and then I just made something out of the paint blots. Anyway, it's just been really fun to not really think, and just have something I could just quickly use and draw, and I just really like that. Oh, here's my family. This was also using photographs, and I drew my family, and I just really am loving it. And one of the exercises in it is to draw 100 faces, and so I think I'm going to get another sketchbook. I know, can you believe it? I'm going to get another sketchbook that will be the faces sketchbook, and then I will just use it to draw faces. And so I'm excited about that project because why not, right? Why not? So those are fun. Those are some fun things that I've been really loving. And this was just from the library. So definitely your library is a resource for art books. And I like books with exercises and things to do because I have a lot of creativity myself, but sometimes there's a fun limitation to having an exercise drawn for you, and then you work out of that. And I just enjoy that, especially in my sketchbooks. I enjoy that. So yeah. We're gonna work on this one. I know it's upside down. This blue is too close to the bear, so I want to make it a brighter blue. And so let's do that. I think I'm just gonna mix some of this ultramarine blue with a little bit of white, maybe add a little aqua to it. Sounds fun, right? That sounds kind of fun. You're like, sure, Jackie, whatever, sure, that sounds fun. Oh, this white is almost empty, so we'll go ahead and, oh gosh, and it's very blue. Can you see that? It's very messy in there, but we'll use that. So thank you to everyone who answered my question. I think I made like a community post about being, and actually last week's video, asking about are you a professional artist or are you a part-time artist? And something, you had so many good things to say, and it was so thoughtful. It was lovely. It was lovely. Lots of comments about, most people do have to make a living, and so full-time art isn't something that they can pursue. And my audience, who I love very much, is mostly women, so I get it. I get it, right? But someone had the best comment, and it was so good. So, an artist is an artist. Would you ever call a part-time nurse not a nurse? And it made me think, like, maybe it doesn't matter how much time you're working on something, and just that you are doing it. So that was food for thought. And then I got this really great email from Amy Stewart, who is a writer and a artist and just all kinds of things. And she was talking, oh yeah, that's a better blue. She was talking about the need that artists feel to have a particular style and to be known for something in a certain way. So like, if I were to mention like Jeff Koons, that's a good example, I think. What do you think of? Do you know who he is? You probably, okay, it's the sculptures that look like balloon animals. So, like, that's what he's known for. I'm sure he's done other work or had done other work, but that's like what he's known for. Or, let's see, someone else. If I mentioned Van Gogh, what would you think? You know, sunflowers, you know, like they're known for things. But then she was like, but then there's David Hockney, who I didn't realize was still alive. He's still alive. He's 87 years old, still creating, which is wonderful. And he did some painting or something, and someone said, well, that doesn't look like a David Hockney. And he said, well, it will now, because, you know, he made it. So he keeps reinventing himself and has his whole life. And so the idea of style has really got my interest this week. Like, do you have a signature style? Are you cultivating one? Do you wish you had one? Is it important to you? Now, I will say this. If you are a professional illustrator, like, right, you're an illustrator, you want to illustrate books or book covers or, you know, corporate graphics, whatever that is to you, you probably do need a style because you're selling a kind, like you're selling a thing. Like, people don't want a Porsche that looks like a VW. Like, that's not, they want a Porsche, right? So it's the same thing. Like, when people are buying an illustration from an artist, they probably want it to look like the work that they've seen. So if that's the work you're doing, then yes, you probably do need to develop a style. But I am going to go with Amy Stewart here, that for the rest of us, we don't really need to do that. We can keep exploring, keep being curious, keep investigating, keep trying new things, keep being fresh, relevant, reinvent yourself. And I will say, as a 55-year-old woman, that's totally my jam anyway. Yes, a lot of my work has similar things. It's going to have, you know, I paint a certain way. That's going to come through. Or my brush strokes are probably going to look pretty similar on a lot of paintings because I have a certain way that I hold the brush, or the brush, even the brushes I use, right? So some of that is going to come through because we're making them. So not so much style as like choices, but it's interesting. You know, I get served a lot of ads for things about, like, you must find, do you want to know your style, your art style? Do you know, I don't know, all these, like, find your style, and it's like, well, and at first I remember seeing those and thinking, oh, am I supposed to have that? Okay, I don't think I have that. And I had no inclination to go find it either, like to take one of those courses or take one of those classes. And so I was thinking, well, is it because I don't know, like, what is that? Why don't I want to do that? And I think it's because I see art as exploration. Like, it's a process of exploring myself and the world around me. And that exploration will always change. It just will. That's the nature of it, and that's what I want. And so the idea of having a signature style I'm not interested necessarily. I mean, yes, my paintings are probably going to look like I did them. But I'm also okay with changing as my skill develops, as my interests develop, whatever it is. And so I'm totally open to that, but I'm curious about you. I'm curious, are you looking for a certain style? Are you trying to develop that in your own art life? Is that something that matters? Is that juicy to you? Like, do you want to be always exploring, always trying new things, or are you trying to hone in on one thing? No wrong answer here. No wrong answer. I promise. I'm just curious about the conversation that we might have about that. And so, yeah, I'm interested. And if you're not a subscriber to Amy Stewart's Substack, I'll put the link in my I'll put the link in the description, and it's worth a subscription. I don't pay for it. She has tiers. I do the free one and I get just as much out of it, but she's a brilliant writer, and she's an awfully good illustrator, and I enjoy her very much. I have met her. She came to our community to be in a book festival, and she's a delight of a person as well. So anyway, yeah, style. Tell me what you think. Tell me, do you have one? Tell me, are you searching for that? What do you know about it? What do you think about it? I'm super curious. And also, this is looking so much better popped out like that. Let's do a quick turn over so we can see. Oh, yeah, right? Now the bear's popping out. Much better. All right. Still working on him. Yeah, more to come. And if you want to see other sketchbooks that I finished, let me know in the comments. And it's been a joy having you today in the studio, and I will see you next Sunday.